Good morning, everybody. Happy Easter. It's Good Friday today. So it's Easter weekend. I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter, right? So, my Easter hasn't been spoilt. No, it hasn't been spoilt at all. My mum's money came yesterday. My son and his girlfriend came down a couple of days ago. So, my Easter has not been spoilt. And I plan to do something next week, not over the weekend, it's going to be too busy, so next week probably sometime. So I have my Terry's Easter egg. And is it surprising that not many people are buying Easter eggs this year? The absolute extortionate price of them, ridiculous. And even for a small egg, it's not worth the value. So some parents are giving children money and some of them are giving them alternative gifts because Easter eggs are too expensive. It's ridiculous. It's not worth the money. I just bought one small Easter egg and my mum's given me some money, so there you go. Everything used to be exciting years ago as well. In your cereal boxes, you used to get a little puzzle or a toy or a gift or something, or even on the back of the box, the packaging is dull and boring now. It is. It used to be bright and sparkly, vibrant. It's all dull and boring. And it's not, even back in the day, in the 80s, opening a box of cereal was exciting when you was a kid. It was, because there was something in the box. And it used to be value for money, but not now. And kids, even poor kids, could get toys. Poor parents could buy their children toys. Now, people on TikTok I was shocked yesterday. Absolutely shocked. This woman was advertising a Bluey sofa, a Bluey kid sofa. And it was almost the price of an adult sofa back in the day. So she's advertising this sofa. I bought this for my kids. Some parents can't afford to feed their children. And she was going, this Bluey sofa, this is value for money if your kids like Bluey. £69 for a tiny little sofa. It didn't even have any legs. It had no legs on it. It was just a beanie sofa, and it was tiny. 69. She went, this is only £69. Only £69. I didn't spend that on my children when I was, it's these women on TikTok that earn thousands of pounds. This woman says that she earns £10,000 sometimes a week. You can earn £3,000 a day on TikTok. Some of these women, I can't do it. You need to do all these things. I don't know how she's doing it, but she's buying her kids the latest toys. You know what I mean? And there's kids out there, I'm thinking there's poor kids out there. There's kids in hospices that have got no toys at all. Or not a lot. And this is what results, I think, some kids to being naughty and committing crime and stuff like that. When you go on there, oh, this is only £69, and their parents are poor. Oh my God, I was absolutely flabbergasted and shocked. She buys her kids everything, the latest toys and everything, and there's women out there that can't afford to give their kids anything. You have to go through all these things to get monetized on TikTok. For some women and some men, it is their main income to sit in their home and advertise products. Sit in their home, muck about on TikTok for a couple of hours, just talking like I'm doing now, and making money on live streams. I just feel sorry for poor parents that do a hard day's work and they don't get enough money to pay their bills and feed their kids, while these women are sat there, some of them flashing their bits and pieces, earning £10,000, while there's hard-working people out there, including dustmen and all that, that work hard and do dirty jobs and don't get much money. It's flabbergasted. Only £69. Oh yeah, we can all afford that, can't we? Let's all go on order 10 of those. I mean, really. And well, what can I say? She's going around advertising the latest products, the latest toys, and obviously these companies pay her for advertising it, and she's raking the money in, while there's people out there homeless and with not a lot of money. And there you go. So Easter weekend, they tried to worry me to death. I've got a Universal Credit phone call on Tuesday just after Easter. That's lovely, isn't it? Trying to stop my money over Easter. It hasn't worked, and now I'm probably going to have to go to Chatham Job Centre to go through that palaver again, because they don't believe my age and they don't believe who I am. So let's do it. Let's do this. Record it, catalogue it, and let everybody see what the government puts poor people through. I doubt that sending me to work as a cleaner is going to get them much money, but there you go. It was my mother, Jennifer, that worked in the Hen and Chickens up in Chatham, which is closed down now, as a cleaner. I worked in Gloucestershire as a bankruptcy clerk. I worked on reception desk, and I worked hard for several years. And I'm not going to go through right now what happened and why I left, but I will do in the future. I think I've done it in past videos as well. What's happened to me and my children has been crap, and they keep pouring crap on all of us now, because something happened and we stood up for our rights. Never mind. My kids and myself are resilient and strong. They're grown up now. Two of my sons are in good jobs and working. So is my daughter. I'm proud of my daughter. I don't see her, but I'm proud of her. She's gone through hell and back. My daughter has, and I have a lot of respect for my daughter. Things went wrong. She has her reasons for not seeing me, and I respect that. I've got no hatred towards my daughter or my other son that I don't see. So there you go. I don't have hatred and towards anybody at all. They have their reasons. I respect that. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I think that things will come right in the end when people realise that I'm telling the truth, and that what's been done against me and my kids has been wrong, and we are owed an apology and compensation, and each one of us needs therapy, and it should be free. When you have been a victim of sexual abuse, you shouldn't have to pay out money when a member of your family has abused you. No, it's not your fault. And of course you're going to get a mental health illness after being abused. there's trust issues. You don't trust people. How can you when a member of your family has sexually assaulted you? How can you trust anyone? Seriously. There is higher up people involved in this, and I'm being put through the ringer. They are now assaulting my intelligence and, you know, trying to stop my benefits again. Because, right, I filled in the Universal Credit online form, but there's a hiccup. I changed my name in 2009 to Crystal. My birth certificate name is in the name of Genestra. So when I signed on at the job centre in 2000, was it 13, 14, whatever it was, or when I first came down to Chatham, my name was Genestra, and I signed on at the job centre as Genestra. So there is a record of all that under my national insurance number. They know that. All they need is, they're just being arseholes. My national insurance number has been the same, right? All the way along the line. It's not changed. Only I should have that number. They know that, so they're putting me through all this. Still the same me. I've had the same tooth since I was 13. They know it's me. So they put me through all this rigmarole just to cause trouble and stress to me, because I suffer from anxiety and depression. So I have now, they'll stop the benefit. They will. They're going to stop in July. If I can't get onto Universal Credit before July, they're going to stop my benefits completely. Kaput, just like that. That's what they're going to do, guys. Just stop them completely. It says on that letter, it's got a deadline. If you don't apply for Universal Credit, they're going to stop my disability benefit. They're going to stop it completely. Right? Now, you cannot be left without any money. That is you can't be left without any money to live on. That's against the law. It's against the law. It is against the law. Now they're finding excuses not to put me on Universal Credit. That's what they're trying to do. If I don't get put on Universal Credit, at the end of July, my rent benefit will stop. If I don't pay the rent, I will get evicted from my home. You are not allowed to speak out in this country. If they can't put you in prison, they'll put you on the streets. And that's what I believe they're trying to do. So I'm going to answer this phone call on Tuesday, and I will probably be spoken down to like shit, because they want you to get cross with them so that they can have an excuse to say, oh, we couldn't speak to Crystal. She was rude to us. So I have to keep calm, answer the questions clearly and correctly, and not fall prey to their underhand tactics. Do you see what I'm saying? If you get cross with them, they will say they will not speak to you, and they will put the phone down, and I won't be able to get my benefits. This was done to me in the back of an ambulance in 2018, and I was in pain. And I mean, the pain was 20. I'd had 3 or 4 teeth extracted. My mouth was full of blood. I had holes all over my mouth. And I was having heart palpitations due to the anaesthetic. A female crew member of an ambulance didn't believe a word I was saying. She was a bitch. And she said she left me in the back of an ambulance with two trainee young men, and they did an ECG and touched my breasts. Well, she made an excuse saying that I was rude to her when I wasn't. She was asking me questions. I was in agony. I needed to go to hospital. But these blokes were doing an ECG, feeling around my breasts, while she went out into Old Road car park and said that I was being rude and she didn't want to be there. And I was left with two men touching around my breasts. I've got a note of it. I kept a journal. I've got the letter where I complained to the South East Ambulance Service about that woman. I've got that letter somewhere. I complained to the ambulance service how I was treated in the back of an ambulance. They're perverts. Anyway, I was wheeled into a hospital. I was going to the dentist numerous times. I was out of my head on anaesthetic. Every 2 weeks I was having needles in my mouth. I was wheeled into an ambulance with my blouse wide open and my breast nearly hanging out. No, I don't do that anymore. I don't go up there anymore. I don't live near the hospital anymore, which is a good thing. And that's where Ben, my mother's mental health nurse, used to work, in the Brooke and Benjamin ward at the mental ward in the Medway Maritime Hospital. My mum keeps going on about this Ben who abused her, not me. So there's some underhand shit going on here. Also, if I don't take this call, like I said, I'm going to lose my benefits. They'll cut me off my benefits completely and leave me with nothing to live on, and that's completely illegal. It's illegal. Anyway, let's go back to today. It's Easter. I don't want to harp on about that. I want to enjoy my Easter. They've tried to spoil it, but my son came down and, you know, it was cool. And my mum sent me £30 in the post. That's really pissed them off. Outside, the animosity towards myself outside was awful last night. It really was, because I've been sent some money. Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:41 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Friday, the 18th of April.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:42 a.m.
Alexa, what's the outlook for Easter?
From earthski.org. The earliest possible date for Easter is March 22nd and the latest possible date is April 25th.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook for Easter?
On Sunday the 20th of April in Rochester, you'll see showers and can expect a high of 14 degrees Celsius and a low of 7 degrees.
Alexa, what's the outlook for the weather today?
Right now in Rochester, it's 11 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has cloudy skies, with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 9 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What goes well with chocolate eggs? Chocolate bacon.
Alexa, who was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 18th of April include Vanessa Kirby, Conan O'Brien, David Tennant, Kayleigh McEnany, and Wojciech Szczesny.
David Tennant being a Doctor Who actor. David Tennant. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Get more from your smart speaker by linking to your Global Player account. You'll then be able to catch up on your favourite shows on your smart speaker. Just say, ask Global Player to link my account.
I just love it. I just, I've got my health and strength, and maybe that's lucky or genes, or partially my lifestyle. I haven't been a saint all my life. I don't think any of us are in life, but yeah, I don't intend to stop doing it. And in COVID, when I couldn't teach anybody, I just did it in my own little gym to myself.
Yeah.
And kept going.
Have you always been into fitness?
Not really. I started 12 years ago as a dancer. My dad was a teacher and got me into dancing, and then, husband, kids, family, all of that. But I've always liked physical activity.
Because I'm just wondering whether that's partly the secret to your success, right? If you've been relatively fit all your life, if you've been a dancer, or then you've gone into fitness, maybe that's why at 78 you're still able to go and do this.
Yeah, I'm very much use it or lose it.
And
sorry?
I was just going to say, your plan is to keep going?
Yeah, unless I break a leg or an arm or whatever. In fact, I did keep going when I broke a foot on a dance floor.
Oh my, Colleen, you are honestly exceptional. Thank you so much for your call. You off to do some fitness training this weekend, or are you going to put your feet up?
Actually, I'm going to see a girlfriend this weekend, so she's not into fitness training, and I'm just going to enjoy the day.
Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Colleen, thanks so much for your call. Wow. I mean, that is an example to all of us, isn't it? 78, fitness instructor. What excuse do the rest of us have to be retiring at, 65, if Colleen can still go out and do that? Although we heard as well earlier in the show that this does come down to how physically fit you are, how mentally able you are. Some of that's luck, right? Or some of it's circumstances in life. We can't all expect to be physically fit at 78. We can't all expect to be cognitively fit at 78. Some of this is going to come down to your own personal circumstances. But if Colleen can do it, then surely there are other people out there who are fit and well enough to do it. Should they be working past 70? Let me know what you think. 0345 6060 973. More of your calls and texts to come in just a few minutes' time. Plus, the promise from the government to stop the rot in military housing. That's after the news with Thomas Watts.
The US Secretary of State has warned Washington is not prepared to be involved in talks on securing peace in Ukraine indefinitely. Donald Trump suggested he will be heading to the UK for a second state visit in September. Investigators are looking into the cause of a fatal cable car crash in southern Italy. LBC weather, cloudy with rain across the western half of the UK, brighter in the east, a high of 17 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Delays on the M25 anti-clockwise, junction 8 at Reigate, and that's all down to an accident where 2 lanes are closed. Very busy on the M25 anti-clockwise at the Clackett Lane services where a car's broken down, and in Tooting there are delays on the Mitcham Road in both directions, and that's because of the ongoing works. Lots of engineering works taking place with it being Good Friday, including no trains for South Eastern at Victoria. Also, the DLR's part suspended in quite a few places, including no service between West India and Stratford International. Elizabeth Line services, also Great Western Railway and Heathrow Express trains are running a reduced service to and from Paddington, also for engineering works.
LBC.
The warm turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea, diamond white sand beaches, and a stunning all-inclusive resort. Relax in luxury at a Palladium Hotel Group resort in Mexico or the Dominican Republic.
Right, guys, once again, happy Easter. But talking about fitness there, that guy that spoke to me from Waitrose said he was fit for 62, and we had a conversation, didn't we? And I said my 78-year-old mother, my 78-year-old mother was like housebound, and she couldn't get out of her house. So we've got this woman today in her 70s. She's a fitness gym instructor. See you later.